Well, my whole life, I always just de facto considered myself white. I just never questioned that. I never really considered myself a brown person. And, my skin color is fair, but I definitely have non-Western features. And that my whole life, people would ask me where I'm from, right? Where are you from? And, but, I just never questioned. Like, I've got like white dad, you know, German and Irish on one side, Iranian on the other side, and and Jewish heritage on the Iranian side too. So um, it's just like I just took it for granted that I wasn't a person of color. I was white, but it was only until the last couple of years where I've reflected more on the fact that, um, there's an interesting book called "The Limits of Whiteness" by an Iranian sociologist who's on Twitter. He's very interesting. I'll, Nate, I'll drop you her information
Yeah,
later.
maybe a good guest for the show.
But Aaron of um, Embrace the Void, Into the Void.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, ETV. Um, he had a poll because he was actually reading this book, so he polled on Twitter like, "Are Iranians white?" And I was interested to find out that around 2/3 of people said no. And then I did my own poll. Right, these are not scientific polls, but I got about the same results.
Then you asked people if they thought you were white.
Yeah, me. Yeah, me. So it wasn't. So it was like Iranians in general, and then me. And I realized that maybe at least half of people don't think I'm white, which was not something that I ever really thought twice about, but now I do. Like, where do I fall? And and that's the interesting thing is that people like me uh, have an ambiguous place in the racial hierarchy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like the program in the Matrix that got free, and now you're just roaming loose.
It's just like Schrodinger's brown person, where depending on who's looking, and that's just it just goes to show how amorphous race is. It has no defined boundary.
That's exactly
what I try
right.
to explain to people. Phenotypically, it has no defined boundaries. It's like a constellation of traits, and some people are going to perceive it a little bit nuanced differently than another person.
I mean, I always tell people about it's not a race centric one; it's a homophobia one. But like, I always tell people about the day I learned about this guy who got beaten. He lost sight in one of his eyes because he hugged his friend goodbye, and the person was like beating him up because they thought he was gay, but he wasn't gay. He was a straight guy hugging his gay friend. The guy saw that and then chased the guy and beat him up. And so it's a lot of it is like it's just complete nonsense, right? Like, I mean, like he was
Yeah,
it's all people's perceptions, and the perceptions are connected to made up stuff, and then it's just complete. Anyone can activate it. Then anyone can fuel it. It's totally imaginary, but it's powerful. So yeah, I get you.
did you see that video recently of the two young people in In-N-Out eating, filming themselves? Like,
I did. Yeah, there's so much in that video. Like, there's so much.
Because it's racism and homophobia.
And their reactions too, like like she recognizes where the situation could lead, but for him, he admits it's the first time anything like that has ever happened to him, and he's like nervous. He's having a nervous, like joking reaction, and she has to tell him to stop because she realized the danger that they're actually in,
Yeah.
and it kind of dawns on him after the fact. Like there's just this is very heartbreaking video, but I'm glad they're okay. But yeah,
Right. I mean, it was obviously he was coping with the horror of that experience with humor, and then when he allowed himself to be like, yeah, that was scary, it was, because it's like, what do you do?
well, I mean, I don't know if I should say what I do, but
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I should say what I would do either.
I mean, I will. Like, I feel like I have to now, but like, I should. What I do is, for me, I guess I don't know if I'm a special case, since I do have like a podcast where I talk about race. You know, obviously injustice matters a lot to me. Obviously, both of us have put ourselves in danger already. So, like, I mean, when the danger comes, I'm with it. I'm down. You know, like I will confront the danger. That's like what I would do. I don't
Because
recommend it.
yeah, I feel like we're safer too if someone's willing to confront the danger, then they don't feel like they're alone in confronting the danger, and now hopefully you're a team against that person. You know, I
You
mean,
know, I've been the lone person many times. I have to say, with a lot
yeah,
in crowded rooms. So you know, it's just everyone has to make their choice. You know, about what they want to do. You know, that's my choice. It's obviously a rare choice, but you know, someone's got to stand up. You know, like you got to interrupt this stuff, even if it's dangerous. You know, it's the same way that you know the shooting. Um, the recent shooting in LA, right? Like, you know, like that guy had to
yeah,
stop the shooter. He was like, you know, when they were asked, like, what made you real? He was like, I just realized, like, if I didn't stop him, then like everyone here is gonna die. Like somebody
right.
had to stop him, you know. Like so, it's kind of like that, but like a little bit more like prepped, right? I'm prepped, like I'm ready.
Yes, yeah, you already know. If this happens, I'm going to react this way.
Thanks for watching. For access to the full length conversation and all of the 2 hour long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support and see you next time.